Hi, friends. Welcome back. How was your week? Let us know and let us know where you're joining us from. We'd love to know who we're chatting with. How was your week?
Uh, it's good. It's been busy, lots of fun activities, but
Multiple
it's good.
end of summer block parties.
Yeah. Good, hot, trying to keep out of the sun so then I cover up and,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, good week. How about you?
Good. It's been a good week. It's been a little bit of just kind of restructuring and resorting our family as things have shifted with Justin's with work and taking on more responsibility there. It means that I need to kind of start taking back that responsibility that he had taken over since Daddy's passing. So a lot of like just sorting out what that looks like and how to make it work. Because my brain, I am like pregnancy brain, guys. You know, I had a friend who once put her keys in her fridge, and that's the kind of stuff that I'm doing. Like I forget words mid-sentence. I leave my phone like in the most random places, and I like 2 seconds later have no idea where it was and stuff like that. So I'm still I struggle mentally, which is it's really hard for me because I've always felt to be very like intelligent, fairly organized person, and I'm not that at all. Um, and yeah, so it's been a lot of like finding things. A friend recommended a recipe app that you like just like take pictures of it and it like completely imports the recipe with the ingredients, and then you go through and you build your menu off of that, and you can make a list off of that that pre-sorts. That like pre-sorts it into a little grocery list, so that makes it I'm not forgetting
Mm-hmm.
ingredients and stuff. So some of that stuff has been very sorry, Aaliyah. I just declined your call. Um, so it's been a lot of that, like just sorting that out and getting kind of figured out and
Yeah.
moving forward
Which,
stuff, which is
yeah, takes it's a
challenging,
little
but it's
time
good.
consuming up front,
It is,
setting
yeah.
things up. You've also
Um,
done some rearranging.
yeah, I did impulsively rearrange my house, so that's fun. But mostly because the way the setup, that you can't really see the schoolhouse from the house anymore, and it backs up to an alley, and so we just didn't really feel comfortable the girls going out there to do school without me, and they did do a lot of independent work, so I like to be able to do something else in the middle, combined with the fact that we have AC and the schoolhouse does not. That we've been doing school in the house, and so I finally like restructured a little bit, rearranged some furniture, moved one piece from one room to another room so that I could set up a little school station in our hallway and still make the kitchen functional because I stole the table from the kitchen. Um, so yeah, it's been a busy week for me, but it feels good.
Yeah.
We'll see how I feel in a couple weeks, but it feels good to kind of feel like I'm productive and doing stuff. So yeah. So today we were thinking we'd chat about just the things that maybe we've purchased or gotten that we thought would really matter, super impactful or super whatever, super useful, and didn't. They were like duds for us, which just as a preface, just because it's a dud for us does not mean it's a dud for
Right.
you.
Right.
Like every home is different, every family is different, every person is different, and our needs are different. So um, this is more about what we thought would work for us and did, and just kind of what that looks like when you get something that's just it's not what you needed. So what's something maybe that comes to your mind?
Hmm. Well, this would have been years ago, but I got we both had a lot of shoes, and I got the shoe racks, put your shoes kind of on,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought they were gonna like make all the difference in the world because they would be easily accessible. They could sit there underneath our clothes, so they had a
Mm-hmm.
home, and found they just didn't work for us.
Yeah.
We got to where we just weren't putting our shoes away because while it seems like they work perfectly, or you could put your shoes over, every shoe is a little different. Some shoes, there was boots and flip flops and
Yeah.
sandals. A lot of them didn't work on that, and so we tried it in a couple different places. We tried it by our back door, thinking maybe it would work, but again, boots and things didn't work well on it. So, yeah,
Good.
it was a dud for us.
Yeah, shoe organizers. They've
Mm-hmm.
always been a dud for us.
Yeah.
The best thing we have is in the bottom of our closet. I just built shelves. I did 3 shelves, and they're varying heights. So you have a taller one on the bottom for like the heavy shoes, like your boots and things like that, and then a smaller one in the middle for your flats and small things. But it was still tall enough for my husband's sneakers. And then the top one, you have all the space up the hanging closet, so you can put high heels and things like that. That has been the best. Because I just like everything we've bought as far as shoe organizers go.
Well, where we
don't use them.
Where we landed and what worked best for us was the shoe boxes. Go figure. The little drawers that are shoebox size, but where you can pull it out. Those worked the best. We used those in our closet. We used those in our closet underneath our clothes, and then the boots, of course, just had to sit on the side. But then when we went full time in an RV, that they just didn't. That didn't work really well for us either, even with downsizing our shoes. So yeah, back to not really sure what to do with my shoes again.
Well,
waiting for the next best thing.
Yeah, I think I want to do that. Our girls, their shoes. I mean, it's a small home and there's 4 kids, so there's a lot of shoes because of course they'll have their own shoes. It's like it would be weird to share shoes. Like there's a lot of stuff we've been able to condense down by like, oh, we'll share this thing. But shoes, you can't really share shoes. Not really. Not till you're teenagers and you're borrowing your shoes for an outfit.
Well, and I've seen some people that have like a big like mudroom or have the space to do it. They've built like however big. I mean, in some homes or in the garage, I've seen
the cubbies.
Yeah, the cubbies and the whole family's shoes, so they don't even go to the bedrooms. They're
and I'd love that if we
had the spot
capacity.
Yeah,
I've thought about doing that in our laundry room. We've got kind of when you go in the door, this like square nook that's like 2 or 3 by 2 or 3 ish. It's not quite square, but it's pretty close. And I thought about if I built because I've got like a hanging hook, and so I kind of got the space I could build like a bench thing. But the problem being, you have to think it through because when the door can't open wide.
Yeah.
It's because it's right next to where the door opens in.
Something.
So I don't know. Or I could hang the door on the other way. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. But yeah, I think that just open or very generic storage like that works drawers has always ended up working better for us than the specific cubbies or cubes or hooks. Yeah.
Drive me nuts.
Well, for me, I know one thing I got was these bins for my kids for their like school supplies, and it was really nice. And they were more like I want to say they were like $20 a pop or something. Like they were more expensive. And they had a handle, and then if you opened up the lid, they had like a tray inside that with a handle that you could lift. It's kind of like a toolbox, right? That you lift out, and then it's got an open space in the bottom. And I thought, oh, this is gonna make all the difference in our homeschooling because they can have all their curriculum in the bottom. They can have their own crayons, their own scissors, their own everything up above. They've got all what they need. They can just carry that anywhere. It'll be perfect. And maybe when they're older, it would work really well. But what I found was, having their own school supplies is such a joke. No, they don't. It gets mixed up. One person leaves it out, so they steal the next person's. And those bins, they never got used. They just sat around. They didn't carry them anywhere, so it's just opening them to pull their stuff out, and then you had the tray that was just extra work, so then that would get left out. And I still have, I think, 1 or 2 of them floating around here that I'm like, it kills me. I think the other ones got broken because they were so expensive. And I'm like, surely I'll find a purpose. But yeah, I thought that was going to make all the difference. And I learned, no, it didn't. It's much better to just have a station with all the communal supplies. So what I have is I have this vintage pie baking cooling rack. And I have these clear plastic drawers that I bought that fit just like perfect. And so each one, speaking of, I need to borrow your label maker so I can label them. I have a crayon one. I have a school pencil one. I have a colored pencil one. I have blah, 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 blah. So they can go and they can either get one out or they can just get the whole tray out depending on what they're doing. And they do that. And then their school depends. Sometimes it's on a shelf, each part of their curriculum. Sometimes it's in a little, right now it's currently, because it's in the house, it's in these little plastic, just basic bins to hold. So yeah, I thought those plastic bins were to change my world, and I learned, no, they didn't. It's a dud.
Yeah. I would say for me, the other thing, and I've tried many of them over the years, silverware organizers for your drawers, or even organizers for your drawer with all your kitchen tools. Um, they've never, you get the solid ones and they collect stuff. You get the ones that are like wire, the stuff fall, because, you open the drawer, stuff falls into the drawer.
Yeah.
Half the time, growing up, they never got put into the right sorters anyway. And really, I mean, does it super matter? Is it that our forks, knives, and spoons so alike that we can't just all find them? What I found for me in latter years, at first, I got is having it out, easily accessible. At first, I have the what were they called?
The candle
the
molds. Sugar molds.
Sugar molds, yeah. And we would have them. They were sorted in that, and I would have the straws and all that. When we downsized to move into the RV, we downsized because it was just the two of us, downsized the amount. And now I just have, this whole time, I've just had it's a wood bowl that I wanted to keep. And so I originally was going to put a plant in it, and I was like, this is perfect for all of our silverware. And then, but at home before, for all my kitchen, you kind of have the same thing going.
Crocs.
The Crocs, but also you have the drawer where everything just kind of goes in there, and you just kind of paw through it and find your measuring cups and all that. I feel like that, I think it's one of those things that seems like a good idea to stay all nice and organized. It just becomes
more complicated.
But it just becomes more complicated and trying to figure out, So for me, the drawer organizers for your kitchen stuff is really dead.
Yeah.
They didn't make life better.
No. I think I need to cut felt for it because I got this really cute, like, pottery. You could carry for my silverware. It had 4 spots, which is perfect. Spoon, fork, knife, straw. But my kids have been like, I don't know. I think they do this when they put the silverware in. They busted the bottom out of one of them. Yeah. So I saved the chunks. I'm going to try to epoxy, but I think I want to get some felt or some padding in there to just kind of break it. I've talked to them about not throwing it, but I agree. Yeah. My husband doesn't love the just mixed drawer. He doesn't love the Crocs either. He probably would be one of those people who thrive with the individual slots for every single thing. But, we have the Croc on the counter that has like the daily drivers that you're using all the time. And they have the drawer. But I think also part of that is like how much of our need for organization is because we just have too much. And so being really intentional about I have tools that, we used to have an avocado slicer. Yeah. And I was like, first off, we almost never use it because it doesn't fit 99% of them. Yeah. Like avocados and mangoes are weird. Most of those tools don't really actually work.
Until you find the perfect produce.
Yeah. And so I got rid of those. So it's just kind of like we're constantly like, do I use this tool?
Same.
Or is it like, there's things I have like my sugar thermometer that I'm going to keep. Even though I rarely use it because it is valid, it's important, and it's necessary. But like some of those extra gadgeties, we just are intentional about not keeping them. It's like a sharp knife will do the job. Then we'll let the sharp knife do the job. But yeah. I am trying to think. I think 99% of my organizational stuff I buy is that. But
I was just thinking that, a lot of the plastic bins have become like the thing. Every season,
everything
they come out with new colors,
the fridges have like 14 bins.
Yeah. And I think plastic bins are like the big lie that we've been guaranteed they're going to revolutionize.
We'll make it better.
You just think about it. Like, how big is any store, big box store you walk into, how big is their plastic bin section? And they're always in pretty new colors and designs, and it makes you want to keep buying them. And yep. And they don't ever, There are some instances they serve a
Yeah.
purpose, but I think a lot of times they're big fails.
They're overrated. Like, you don't need it. You just need to be more organized.
Yeah, and have less
More
stuff.
organized. I'm sorry. Yeah. You need to be more organized by having less stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's just it's like selling selling you the problem and the solution.
Yeah. Well,
like,
and
buy more stuff. They're constantly, the advertising, the marketing is targeting us to buy more things, that we need these things. They're going to make our lives better. And then now we're overwhelmed by all of our stuff. There doesn't have anywhere to go. So, buy organizational tools, buy bins, buy storage units, like all these things to solve the problem that really we just buy too much.
Stuff,
we just need less stuff.
I will say the big bins, that is a good one. The big ones, because, what would we use? We use cardboard boxes before that, and they get wet and pests get in and things get ruined. So I do like you can do that airtight plastic big, for your holidays and stuff. But again,
that's also,
you don't need
give yourself a space.
1,000 bins stacked in you. You don't need to create a storage system for all your big bins.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we've talked about. I love the big bins because it also makes, and we've talked about that like giving yourself a space. Yeah. It doesn't fit in the space, something's got to go. The same for our bins. And so like I have like 4 bins for Christmas because probably 2 of those are decor. That's probably when we decorate the most. And then 2 of those are Christmas tree type stuff. And then, then you have your ornament boxes. So that's probably our biggest season. But all the other seasons get 1 bin. And I just kind of make sure I buy stuff that fits in that bin. And so they're very, very handy, but it gives it a specific spot. So it can't just keep growing. One thing I was going to say, I think is my biggest one, the biggest thing I buy, and I buy it regularly, and it is not what I need. New planners. I am 100%, and I know that like that is such an ADHD thing, like or ADD thing of this new journal or this new planner is going to make my life perfect. And I have so many times like when I'm stressed. So like this last year, I bought like 3 or 4 planners. Normally I buy 2. I buy 1 that's just going to revolutionize my life. And about a few months in, I go, nah, it's not. I need a new one. I found this new one and it's going to change my life. And I buy that one. And then I feel guilty and I don't buy any more after that. And that's my thing that I buy regularly, that it doesn't change my world. It doesn't fix my problems. And I found I have just a weekly printable, like undated Sunday through Saturday calendar. And then I buy, which is what we grew up with. And I keep going back to the big like wall desk calendars.
That you turn into a wall calendar.
Exactly. Desk calendars that you turn into a wall calendar. They're the best. I write all of our monthly stuff on it, and we have Google. I don't thrive in the digital, but it is convenient for like being on the go and for my husband and I to stay on the same page. So we have a Google that's like our long term, like this is from here to eternity. We can throw things on that calendar, and then I go through and I add it to the monthly calendar. And then from that, I have that when I do my weekly like layout, I can do that. And that has worked really, really well. And I think it may, do not hold me to this. I may end up sticking with that. Like we got planners earlier this year that were those with the boxes, and I love that one. But especially, I don't know, I found that this is just working really well for me. And if I don't like the design, I can update the design. Yeah. And constantly. So this might be my solution. I might have found what works best for me. But yeah, I think those are some of the...
I did that for a season when you were growing up because I couldn't find... Back then, it was harder to find calendars that, allowed for the different facets of your life, because, it's all your life, but like homeschooling, that's a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of details. And
a lot of details.
And it's all very custom.
And then, your other things can get lost in the middle of that. So I kind of did my own, that blank calendar. Of course, they weren't as fancy as yours because I didn't have all those fancy skills.
Nobody had Canva back then.
It was just a basic calendar, and I printed off copies of it and filled in the dates every month.
Yep, remember that.
Yeah.
So I think that, one thing I've learned too, I think in that concept of like, we're talking about buying things and thinking it's going to change your life and then it's a dud, is you can't totally avoid it. There's gonna be times you think about it, you weigh it, you research it, and it's a dud. And that just happens. And well, maybe you can resell it and get some of your money back. Maybe you can find someone to bless, with by passing it along to someone else. But I think one thing I've tried really hard to start doing in the last, after my dad passed, I went on what we'd call a retail therapy spree and spent way more money than I should have. Buying just like everything, anything and everything to make myself feel better type thing, And I think I knew he was doing it, but I also didn't realize I was doing it. It was this weird, it's grief. It's weird. And ever since then, I've tried to be really a lot more thoughtful. And so when I'm wanting to buy stuff, whether it be like on Amazon or in the store, I'll put it on the list or put it in the cart, but I let it sit and I wait about a month if I can. If it's not something like critical, I wait about a month. And if I still really, really want it, I will tell you, it has saved me from buying dozens of things just in the last like 4 or 5 months. Because after a couple of weeks, I'm like, oh, I guess I didn't really want that. I just really, really wanted it in the moment. It was sold to me, that Instagram video or whatever sold me on it. And I'm okay without it. Usually I found about 4 other things I want more. And then by the time I buy something, a lot less has been coming in. Then when I do buy something, it's like, I don't regret it as much. It tends to be more intentional about what I bought. So I think that really helps with kind of making sure you have less studs, more winners. Yeah. Wieners. We want to be wieners.
So, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree. I had a thought and it just kind of flew out of my head.
I am curious, what is something you bought that you thought was going to just like change your world and it was a total dud? Or did it? Yeah. If there's something you like swear by, I'd love to hear that too.
Yeah. Because there is the other side of the coin.
Sometimes you buy something, you're like, this is perfect.
Yeah, I don't know.
It ran away.
It ran away. Yeah. With a dish and the spoon.
So yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, guys. I hope you guys have a beautiful day and enjoy being intentional about what we spend our money on and our time on, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Bye, friends.
Bye, friends.